So today is Monday, November 25th, 2024, and we're calling the Personnel Commission meeting to order at 5:33 p.m.
I will take roll. Commissioner Bronze,
Here.
Commissioner Cummins.
Here.
Noting that Commissioner Eddie Mitchell is absent. Commissioner Haro.
Here.
And the agenda was posted on Friday, November 22nd, 2024, 5:05 p.m.
Thank you. So communications by members of the public for items not on the agenda. Public comment by members of the public on items not on the agenda, but within the subject matter jurisdiction of the Personnel Commission. Please limit your comments to 3 minutes. This portion of the meeting is reserved for person desiring to address the commission on matters not on the agenda. The law does not permit commission action or extended discussion of any item not on the agenda except under special circumstances. If commission action is requested, the commission may place the matter on a future agenda. Do we have any public comments? No? Okay. Okay, item number 3, approval of minutes.
You have your minutes of the meeting of October 28th, 2024, included in your packet. Need to answer any questions or if you found anything that needed to be fixed.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes for October 28th.
I will second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay. Thank you. Item number 4, Human Resources Director's Report.
So the only two things I wanted to mention tonight is that we recently had a thank you appreciation dinner for board and commission members. I'm not sure who from this group was able to attend. You were able to attend. Was Nita there?
Nita was there.
Nita was there.
I was there.
You were there.
I
Okay,
was
so you were the only one that's not there. So there was a little gift for you
Oh,
from the
okay.
dinner. That's where that came from.
Thank you.
So that's for you there and thank you for your service on this commission. So hopefully it was a nice event.
It was,
Yeah,
yeah, very nice.
Yeah.
Great, excellent. And then the second thing I wanted to let the commission know is that we, with other prior years, we do an end of year closure. So city offices will be closed from the 24th of December and we return on January 2nd. We will staff, of course, police and fire, and then some public works, and then we give our employees the option to work and catch up on things and do special projects if they don't wish to take that time off. Otherwise, most of our employees do take the time off and enjoy the time with their family. So I just wanted you to know that City Hall will be closed during that time. And we'll be back on the 2nd to start fresh with a new year.
Okay, item number 5, informational items. 5.1, it's the 2025 meeting schedule report.
Yeah, so in the packet is the 2025 meeting schedule, noting the 4th Monday of each month at 5:30 that the commission will meet. And then the only adjustment that is made to the schedule is in May. May 19th is noted for the meeting because May 26th is a holiday and there's not a 5th Monday in the month of May this year. So therefore, I moved the meeting up to the 19th. Otherwise, all of the dates listed are the 4th Monday of the month, consistent with our bylaws. Note those dates on calendar.
Yeah. Item 5.2, recruitment and employment status report.
So in your packet, you also have a 2-page recruitment and employment status report. We have a variety of different recruitments that are posted, some that are in progress at different stages. And then we have some hires and separations since our last meeting. We just met at the end of October, so there's not a lot of change since the end of October to now. And then we do kind of sort of a little bit slow our recruiting process down during the holiday time. It's not as good of a time to do recruitment, so we're kind of selective about what things we post and have out there because we want to try to time it so that we obviously aren't going to be doing interviews during the time that we're closed. So we're trying to, starting to schedule things into January and February. And one thing I worked on today, we're scheduling in March. So this is how far ahead we plan on our different recruitment processes. So I'm happy to answer any questions. And for the record, it is 5:38 p.m. and Commissioner Eddie Mitchell. Sorry. Thank you for being here.
Okay. Are there any questions on the recruitment report?
I have a question.
Sure.
The city clerk, is that the first time we've posted it?
It's the second time we posted it. We just reposted it after you upped the salary range at
Right.
the last meeting.
Okay,
And we're also using a working title of Council Services Records and Elections Manager. So
Okay.
we're trying to use a working title for this recruitment effort so
Right.
that candidates for this
Yes.
position will see, by the title at least better, what's involved in the position.
Okay.
So we just recently posted that, so it's up on the city site for recruitment. And you'll see only the city clerk in parentheses, and you'll see more of the wording throughout the posting is the Council Services Records and Elections Manager. That's a better descriptor of what they
It
do
is.
in the role.
it is. Yeah. I just wasn't sure. I'm like, that's a crucial role. So, and I didn't see any applications it was making. either.
Yeah, we just posted it and it's good. It closes on 1/2/25. I missed a box on that report. So it closes on 1/2/25 and we have interviews planned for January 22nd, 2025.
Any other questions? No? Okay, moving on to unfinished business. There's none, okay. And moving on to new business, 7.1, job description for classification of operations services supervisor, wastewater in the utilities department.
Yeah, so in your packet tonight, you have two, actually, I'm gonna talk about 7.1 and 7.2 kind of together because they are somewhat interrelated. So as you know, we're creating a utilities department in the city. We're adding some additional staff to support the utilities function. And then in part, it will be staffed by some staff members who will be moving from the Public Works Department to the Utilities Department. So in this instance, where the council and the budget process added an additional supervisor position, an operations services supervisor. So that in the wastewater function of utilities, we would have a dedicated supervisor to oversee the team of maintenance personnel that will be servicing our wastewater system. Those are, for the most part, already the maintenance workers are employees that there's going to be a point at which we move some of them over to the utilities department and some will stay in the public works department. But the supervisor position is actually a new spot that is just recently budgeted and approved by the city council. And we've been, as you know, from your past commission meetings, we've been kind of working through trying to get the different utilities job descriptions in place, so we can, continue to work toward this transition. So in your packet is a job description for Operations Services Supervisor for wastewater. This is a position that will report to the Utilities Operations Manager, which is a position you approved at your last meeting. And they will supervise a team of wastewater maintenance employees and will perform technical work in support of the wastewater section. And once we get the supervisor hired and we work out the final details of our transition plan, then we'll move the maintenance workers from Public Works over to the newly formed wastewater section. And the employees in the current water section of Public Works will also be transitioning over. That one's not quite as complicated because the prior function wasn't mixed in with other things. So transitioning to the second item, that's a new business item for tonight, is the supervisor position that is going to be remaining in Public Works will no longer have wastewater duties mixed into it because that's moving to this new position. But we're highlighting the stormwater and drainage functions that they perform as well. So they'll be doing streets, stormwater drainage, and tree maintenance in that section of the Public Works Department. So we had to look at these two job descriptions side by side, and we had to develop a new job description for the wastewater position. And then just to make it easier to read and understand, the streets, stormwater and drainage and trees position has all the wastewater duties pulled out of it so that it's clear what each supervisor is going to be functionally responsible for. The streets, stormwater drainage and trees person will be remaining in the Public Works Department, whereas the wastewater position is in the Utilities Department. So they'll be in two different departments. But the wastewater position, kind of is a fourth supervisor, and just given the workload and growth within the city, it was time to, break this into the utilities department and to have a fourth supervisor overseeing the team of employees. So right now we have three supervisors, one is assigned to Parks and Landscape, one to water, and one is streets, wastewater, trees. And so like we mentioned, that the wastewater piece is coming out. And then we have the fourth position being added. And all of the operation services supervisors are on the pay band on the AFSCME supervisory unit salary schedule, which is 95,053 to 133,746. We're not proposing any changes to the salary range. The employees in these classifications are also eligible for certificate pay for possessing certain technical certifications related to the position. And depending on how far they go in obtaining their certificates, they can get a substantial amount of extra pay for having those. And they can work up to the different levels of the certifications. We did meet with the AFSCME labor group to discuss these two job descriptions. And we discussed a lot of different aspects of them. We did agree upon some changes in the job descriptions. Susanna attended those meetings, and thank you for bringing the team to the meeting and for taking the time to discuss those with us. So with Personnel Commission approval of the job description and salary range, we'll begin a recruitment for this new position. And then with respect to the existing position, that's the next item in your packet. We're proposing the edits to this job description. We put it in the packet without any of the wastewater duties, just for clarity and to make it not so confusing. And the person that is in this job now will be able to retain this position. And we're not proposing any other changes to the job classification. So I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have related to either of these supervisor positions. And you can take public comment as well.
Are there any public comments at this time? Unless this is approved, Leanne, the new supervisor position, they'll take on those duties, but in the meantime, who will be handling those duties?
So we haven't fully transitioned Public Works to the utilities. We're kind of in the process of doing that. So the existing team is still in Public Works doing everything that they normally did. And that will continue until such time that we get the ops manager for utilities hired and the supervisor for wastewater. And then we're working out a few other little transition things that we need to work through with the employees and the labor group because some people are going to be changing departments. We want to have a smooth transition. So we're going to be going through that process to get that all lined up. And then once we feel like we're ready and we've addressed every issue, then we'll set a target date for, okay, we're flipping the switch. This is what's going to happen. So we're getting all the pieces in place to be able to do that.
Thank you. Are there any other questions?
Do we approve these individually? Or-
Yeah, I presented them kind of together because they're interrelated, but if you could do two separate actions to approve them, since they are two separate job descriptions, that would be great. So we should start with 7.1 for the operations services supervisor for wastewater in the utilities department.
Okay, I move that we approve the job description for the classification of operation services supervisor wastewater and the utilities.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
And then the second action would be approving the job description for the operation services supervisor, street, stormwater, drainage, and trees, which will remain in the public works department.
Okay, I'll go ahead and move that we approve the job description for operation services supervisor for streets, stormwater, drainage, and trees in the public works department.
I'll second.
All in favor? Opposed?
Okay, thank you for that. That really helps us move things forward and get the structure in place. So we have the supervision and management and ready to take on this new adventure of the utilities department.
Exciting. Okay, item 7.3, update part-time hourly pay rates to comply with state of California minimum wage effective January 1st, 2025.
Yeah, so just some minor changes that we have to make to our part-time hourly pay table. We were short by 2 cents, because I don't know what that was. Code on the chart. I don't know what happened to my chart. But we have 4 positions that are at $16.48, and the California minimum wage, January 1st, 2025 is $16.50. So we just have to officially update the salary table to incorporate that. I was kind of waiting to see what was also going to happen with the state proposition, but it doesn't look like that has passed. And so we will just be sticking with this. So approving this will just allow us to update our salary table and have that in compliance beginning January 1st, 2025.
Okay, I'll make a motion to update the part-time hourly pay rates to comply with state of California minimum wage effective January 1, 2025.
Second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. And item number 8, future personnel commission.
So we still have a few things on our to-do list that we're working on. Our community development director is working on 2 job descriptions right now, one for the deputy director of community development. And getting that updated. That was a position we had previously, and we're gonna be reactivating that again. So she's going through the old job description and making sure that's all current before we bring it to the commission for approval. And then she's also working on a housing and community development coordinator job description. This will be a new job description, salary range, and we're proposing a reclassification of an existing employee who's working in a similar position. And then the next piece associated with the utilities, public works utilities transition is the senior maintenance worker. So similar to what we're doing with the supervisors today, we need to also do with the senior maintenance workers, because those are dedicated positions specific to each section. So that's the next one to tackle. We're doing them kind of one at a time.
Okay.
So those are things that we're working on right now.
Any questions? Okay, so it is 5:51 and we are calling this meeting to an end.